don't post things often, but I discovered something quite unusual and frankly quite terrifying the other day. I'm not sure how else to put it, but I haven't been able to think about anything else. I was hoping someone could help me make heads or tails of it. A little background first. I'm an assistant curator at a pretty famous museum. I won't say which, as I would like to maintain my anonymity. All you need to know is that we have an unbelievably large archive of artifacts, arts, and research. It takes a lot of manpower to organize, manage, and digitize them. Anyways, I was going through boxes of records from the field team the other day when I came across a satellite communication device. It's just an audio recording device that lets field teams who probably don't have the internet where they work to record logs on what they find. This isn't anything out of the ordinary for me. I do, however, absolutely hate coming across them, as it was my job to transcribe the hours of recordings on these devices. I love my work, but every job has its tedious duties. Thankfully, when I opened the files, there were only 22 logs. I should mention that the device that I have is not the original recorder the team had with them. It was only a receiver. We don't receive the recordings in real time, as it takes an exhaustingly long time for any data to be transferred between these devices over a great distance. It is, however, a reliable way to keep records. Usually the team would arrive home before their recordings do. This is only done as a precaution if the original device gets lost. The other files, along with the satellite device, included information on the research team and the other files pertaining to their mission. I won't be specific, but the team was sent to the outskirts of Jordan to investigate a previously undiscovered Mesopotamian ruin. Anyways, I'm just going to put the finished transcriptions here for you guys. I'll be adding additional notes of what I think I hear in the background. The names of those involved have been changed, and I hope you understand. Dates and time listed are in the month, day, year, hour, minute, and second format. The following logs were received in September of 2020. Log 1, May 11, 2019, 9:13. Hey, what's up guys? Just casually making history out here. Or uncovering it, I suppose, Milo said. Milo, put that down. It's not a toy, Carter responded. Just having a bit of fun. Alright, gotta go. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, Milo replied. Milo? Carter said angrily. End of log 1. Log 2, May 11, 2019, 23:33. How does this thing work? Bob said. Just hit that button on top, Milo replied. There's like 4 buttons on top, Bob says afterwards. Is the red light on? John screamed from afar. Yep, Bob said. Then it's working, John said with a stern look on his face. Oh, okay. The progress here is slow. Well, we haven't even begun to investigate the site yet. A massive freak storm hit us at the moment we got here, and we're just waiting it out. That's it, right? Bob asked the room. Yeah, that's all for now. Looks like we're gonna be waiting a while, Carter replied. Oh shit, Milo said as thunder could be heard in the background of the recording. End of log 2. Log 3, May 12, 2019, 12:16. Let me tell him, Milo is heard from the background to audio. No, I'm the team leader here, so I get to tell them. Carter pushes him away. But you won't say we're Gravitas, Milo says. Come on, let's go. We got things to prep, Bob sternly says to the two of them. But this is momentous, Carter, Milo comes back in to say. Bob and Milo voice and footsteps die down. All right, you would not believe our luck. So the storm has passed, but a lightning bolt last night struck the site. There's a massive crater, yes, but don't worry, it gets good. It opened up an untouched tunnel system under the site. We found it early today, and by the looks of it, we think it's man-made. Can't be sure yet. We're going in to investigate tomorrow. We won't go in too far. However old it is, I doubt its architectural integrity. Don't have much to report right now. Hopefully, I'll have more tomorrow. Don't want to get my hopes up here, but we might be standing on something huge. Maybe Milo was right about me lacking gravitas, Carter says, concluding the log. End of log 3. Log 4, May 13, 2019, 8:34. Milo and Bob can be heard yelling in the background at the start of the recording, although I cannot make out what they're saying. Everyone's voices in this log are noticeably echoing. Carter starts off by saying, "It's exactly what we had hoped for and maybe more. We're at the tunnel system right now, and there are carvings and symbols all over the walls. I don't recognize what culture they belong to, but it definitely isn't Mesopotamian. The architecture doesn't match any of the ruins above. It doesn't look like any ancient language we have records of. This might actually be something new," John says. Do you hear that? We might have found a new ancient civilization. This changes the entire timeline of human history. This could be fucking Atlantis for all we know, Carter replies. Carter, John, Bob screams. Footsteps gradually grow louder in the background. We found a door, Bob says. Holy fuck. John is cut off. End of log 4. Log 5, May 13, 2019, 8:39 a.m. Can't we just bring a few sticks of dynamite? We did pack some after all, Milo says. No, you idiot. You want to destroy priceless artifacts and bring this entire tunnel down on us? Bob being the voice of reason. How about 1 stick of dynamite? Milo replies. Guys, shut up. Okay, we're at the end of the tunnel system. It's about 300 meters from the opening we came from. I know I said we won't go any further, but this is really exciting. Anyway, we found a door? Carter asks. More like a wall. Honestly, looks angry too, John explained. It's a massive flat circular rock that's blocking the tunnel. There's a face carved on it. Milo got some photos, so I won't bother trying to describe it. John's right though. It does look quite ferocious, Carter explains. And ugly, Bob says from the back. We're documenting everything. Don't worry. Carter ends the log. End of log 5. The photos the team mentioned he took. We didn't find any of them that they talked about. Log 6, May 13, 2019. 16:21. Quite a day we had. God, I still can't believe how lucky we got. This is incredible. We'll go investigate further tomorrow, but we're gonna have to wait for a larger team to arrive. We don't have the manpower or equipment to handle something of this magnitude. Some of us wants to force our way through, and as exciting as that sounds, every brick and stone in that tunnel are considered artifacts and evidence of the civilization. Can't have any of them get damaged. Maybe if we pry it open somehow. But I'm just thinking out loud. There is yelling heard in the background. What was that now? End of Log 6. Log 7, May 13th, 2019, 16:24. Give me that, John says. Hang on, just run me through what happened again, Carter asks. Milo and I were bringing back the equipment we left near the tunnel, John replies. Right? Carter seems suspicious. And a man came stumbling out of the tunnel system yelling at us, John tells him. What do you mean he came out of the tunnel? Carter asks with more hesitancy. Well, Milo saw him first, but we watched him crawl out of the tunnel, John further explains. There's nothing in the tunnel. It's a straight shot to the dead end, Carter says. Yeah, I know that. I'm just telling you what I saw. John trying to defend what they saw. Did he come from the direction of where the tunnel is? Or did he actually? Carter gets cut off by John. Carter, I am fucking telling you, he came out of the tunnel. I don't know. Maybe there's something we miss. John frantically explains. You said he was yelling, Carter questioned. Yeah, well, I don't know. I turned my hearing aid off because Milo was being annoying. Milo heard it though, John replied. Milo? Milo, Carter calls out. Huh? Yeah. Milo replies, almost like he's in a daze. What was the man saying? Carter asked. I don't know. I didn't understand any of it, Milo frantically replies. And where is this man now? Carter demanded to know. I don't know. He's just gone, John says. Into thin air, Carter says. Well, there's not a whole lot of places to hide out here, so yeah, maybe. Didn't get a good look at him. Milo, tell him. John turns to Milo, but discovers he's nowhere to be found. Milo? Where's Milo? Carter ends the log. End of Log 7. Log 8, May 13th, 2019, 22:07. Carter starts off by saying, all right, we're all back at the camp. Milo's not feeling well right now. Hopefully he gets better in the morning. I still want to go back to that tunnel tomorrow. Maybe see if the door will budge. What happened out there? Milo's really shaken up, Bob asked. I don't know. They said they saw a man coming out the tunnel, Carter replies. What? Bob asked in confusion. Do you think this is another one of Milo's antics? Carter asks, as Milo is known to play a few jokes here and there every once in a while. I'm not sure about that. Have you seen the state he's in? Besides, didn't John say he saw the man too? Bob replies. Yeah, Carter says. What do we do? Bob asks. There's nothing to do except our job. How do we delete recordings on this anyway? Carter replies. You're asking the wrong person, Bob says. End of Log 8. Log 9, May 14th, 2019, 9:33. Carter says, I don't know how, but the door is open. I was bringing our equipment for today's excursion, and there it was. The circular stone face had been rolled aside. Still can't really believe it. I'm going to get the others to take a look inside. Gonna need to bring some headlights. But this is big. I can feel it. End of Log 9. Log 10, May 14th, 2019, 10:56. The voices in this audio could be heard echoing. This signifies that the space that they are in is quite big in stature. Bob starts off. This whole thing must be massive. John tells the team, be careful. Nobody touch a thing. Carter follows. John's right. We're just here to observe for now. Milo, hand me the lamp. Still shaken up a bit, Milo responds. I've got a bad feeling about this place. John agrees and says, yeah, especially what we saw yesterday. Enough of that, Carter interrupts. Bob says, Carter, bring the light here. Yep, Carter replies. How far does that go? Bob asks. I can't even see the bottom. I suppose these carvings would tell us something. Bob, did you take a course on philology? Carter asks. They can't teach me a language that was previously undiscovered, can they? Bob replies in a snarky manner. Fair enough. Wish we could read some of these. Still have no idea what the structure is. We need to get as many photos as possible of their language if we're ever going to hope to reconstruct it. Milo, come take a picture of this one. Carter says to Milo, this one's bigger. Kind of like a banner. It must be important, Bob says. Could it be the name of this place? Carter asks. Milo's voice can be heard mumbling something, but I can't make out what he is saying. What was that? Bob says. End of Log 10. Log 11, May 14, 2019, 11:34. We're gonna go deeper into the underground structure. There's a set of staircases leading downward. No idea how big the structure is. Heading back to camp now to grab some more torches. Bit concerned about breathing in the air down there. Might bring some face mask along. It'll probably be fine. Oh shh. Carter is soon cut off. There's a muffled sound here, and a soft thud. I'm thinking Carter might have dropped a recorder. What in the world? More muffling and loud smacking. Probably Carter wiping sand off the microphone. Holy crap. No way. Carter concludes the log. End of Log 11. Log 12, May 14, 2019, 11:58. Carter says. Back at the camp now. Tripped over this robe on my way back. It was just outside the tunnel. It was covered in a bit of sand. Smells terrible though. No idea how I missed it in the first few days. Anyways, I may be reaching here, but it looks old enough and maybe it belonged to the people of this ancient civilization. Might also just be something the locals left behind. Yeah, it probably is. John comes in. Where did you find that? Carter replies. What? Oh, I found this on my way back. John looked a little spooked, but he replies. That's what he was wearing. The man I told you about. Carter becoming more visibly frustrated. Oh, this again? I don't know how MacLeod talked you into this. John, frustrated that he doesn't believe him, replies. He didn't. I can understand not believing him, but when have I ever lied to you? Carter replies, you expect me to believe that some guy out there in the middle of the desert crawled out of a tunnel that doesn't have any other openings besides the crater that was made 2 days ago? John tries to get a word in. Carter, but is interrupted. Not only that, but he just disappears into thin air according to you. John utters out, I didn't say that. Carter replies, this is the last time I want to hear about this man, alright? John, walking away, mutters under his breath, I saw what I saw. End of Log 12. Log 13, May 14, 2019, 15:17. Everyone's voices are echoing and muffled. Bob starts off by saying, it is really dark down here. It smells god-awful too. Carter says, yeah, good thing I bought the face mask, right? Bob replies, I don't think it's helping. John says, we should bring some of the floodlights in here next. Carter replies, I think those would blind us. John says, I can turn down the intensity. I mean, we had no idea we would be working underground. We're not exactly prepared for this. Carter replies, alright, we'll get the floodlights later. Bob chimes in, why do you always have that thing on? Carter replies, I just have it on when we're about to find something new, so I can give live commentary of what we're seeing. John says, well, so far, it's just more carvings along the walls down this way. Man, these people had terrible handwriting. Carter comes in next to say, looks like we're coming up to the bottom. John comes in next, sounding physically disgusted. God, the smell is definitely getting stronger. Bob adds on to that. Whoever it is probably in here. Carter comes next, saying, we've reached the bottom of the staircase. There's a short stretch of the hallway leading to an open doorway. Let's go check it out. Milo, get the camera ready. Bob starts looking around. Where's Milo? Milo, Carter screams out. A deafening explosion goes off, followed by the sound of stones collapsing. John says, don't tell me that's what I think it is. Carter says, shit. End of Log 13. Log 14, May 14, 2019, 15:20. In the beginning of this recorded log, Bob and John are heard yelling in the background. I can only make out a few words, and most of them are profanities. I think I can hear Milo crying. Carter starts coughing. Fuck. Milo he just blew up our only exit, and we're completely caved in. We'll try to dig our way out, but if we can't, we're gonna have to find another exit. There gotta be another way out. Fuck. God fucking damn it. There's a loud pounding echo as Carter punches a wall. Then there's stomping footsteps. John, Bob, and Milo voices grow louder. Milo is first to talk. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Bob says, Carter, wait, let's... Bob is interrupted by Carter. Why? What the fuck were you thinking? The audio here is muffled. The microphone must have been shaking a lot. I can make out the sound of a violent punching and Milo's screams. John comes in to intervene. Carter, stop. That's enough. More muffled noises and the rustling sound of clothes. The screaming and hitting sounds stop. Carter says, relief team arrives in 3 days. We'll run out of oxygen long before then. If we don't find a way out of here, you effectively killed us. Milo says, please stop. I'm so sorry. Please, I'm so sorry. End of log 14. Log 15, May 14, 2019, 15:27. It was the bodies. The smell. God, there's so many down here. Carter says, someone can be heard throwing up in the background. They're wearing the same robe. Carter, End of log 15. Log 16, May 14th, 2019, 15:35. Somebody is sobbing in the background. I can't discern who. There's also a sound of rocks clattering on a hard surface. Carter starts off the log by saying, we're in the main room right now with the collapsed tunnel. John's trying to dig her way out right now, but it's not looking like a viable plan. That explosion earlier destroyed most of what was in this room. The whole structure might collapse on us even, I think. Sorry, I can't think straight right now. We think this place is a mass grave. The other room downstairs, it was filled with long decayed bodies. With how things were looking, well, we might just be added to that pile. John says next, hey, what's your problem? Carter sounding frustrated, what? Hey, knock it off. There's some shuffling sound. Milo starts. No, you can't. We can't leave. We can't leave. Carter growing in frustration. What the fuck has gotten into you, Milo? If you want to die down here, be my guest. but I'm not letting you take the rest of us down with you. Milo replies, No. No, stop. Make him stop. Make him stop. Milo's begging is cut short by a grunt from Carter, followed by the sound of something heavy hitting the floor. Stay out of our way, Carter says to Milo. John replies next. Bob, pull yourself together. We're not dying here. The sobbing gradually dies down to a whimper. But Milo says, I won't. I won't let you. You can't make me. There's a rhythmic, dull, thudding sound, followed by grunts of pain after each thud. Milo says, You can't make me. Milo strained his words. Each word is followed by a thud. John says, What the fuck? Carter, stop him. Carter also just watching Milo slam his head against the wall. And what do you want me to do? He's clearly lost it. John replies, For God's sake, Milo, stop. Milo, you're bleeding. Stop. Carter replies next. Damn it. Milo, get... There's a shuffling sound followed by fast footsteps echoing. John says, Where are you going? Carter begins to scream out to Milo. Milo, get back here. The footsteps quickly get further away, although their echoes can still be heard. John says, We're not going to go after him? Carter replies, I'm not going down there again. Plus, it's a dead end. Not like he can get too far from us. He can rot with the others down there for all I care. The sobbing resumes to its initial volume. End of Log 16. Log 17. May 14, 2019. 23:14. Carter begins by saying, We've been down here for, almost 8 hours now. It's getting unbearably hot. The smell isn't helping either. It's gotten a lot stronger, even up here. Probably because the only ventilation we had collapsed. We're taking a break from digging our way out. Progress has been slow. John gets up and says, I'm going down there. Carter replies, Just leave him. John says, I'm gonna go see if there's another way out. Carter replies at first with a lack of care. Alright. Yell if you find something. Yeah, John says. And check on him. Carter replies with a little bit of worry in his voice. Yeah. John concludes. Soft footsteps gradually dissipated until there was only silence. The silence went on for 7 whole minutes. I assumed Carter had forgotten to switch off the device. But then Carter turns to Bob. Bob? Bob, are you alright? Bob's still panicking. We're gonna die down here. Another 4 minutes of silence follows. John is heard screaming. Milo, no. Carter, get down here, now. John's voice is echoing and hard to hear, but he is clearly yelling. Carter says, Shit. Bob, come on. A single set of loud footsteps on stone floors and the shuffling of fabric is heard. Carter says, Damn it, Bob. John and Milo's yelling gradually gets louder. John says, Milo, put the knife down. Carter entering the room. What the fuck is going on? John looks at Carter and says, just like you said, he lost it. Carter says, Milo, where did you get that? Milo in a state of panic. He demands. He keeps demanding. Carter getting pissed off at the situation. You better start making some sense. Milo starts crying loudly. He talks, choking through the sobs. He's in my head, Carter. He won't leave me alone. Carter asks, who? Milo responds, no. I can't. That's what he wants. We can't let him leave. He's angry. He's so angry. They trapped him down here. He's so scared of rotting down here like the rest of us. Carter trying to find out what is going on with Milo. What has been going on with you? Who are you talking about? Milo looks towards John. John, the man from the tunnel, he told me, he told me his name. Ever since then, he's been in my head. John looks at Milo. The man from the tunnel is in your head? Milo still frantically panicking. No, not him. Not a man. It is in my head. It was in his head, and now it's in mine. He wasn't strong enough. But how it made him suffer. To have to die for so long. Milo's sobbing intensifies. Carter says, get a hold of yourself. Be specific. Tell me, what did this to you? Milo's still crying. I can't. No, I can't, please. That's what it wants. It'll make you suffer for it. I'm so sorry. I couldn't let it. We can't let it. The sound of ripping flesh follow Milo's blood-curdling scream. There's a loud, gelatinous splat, then thick, dripping sounds of liquid gushing into the floors. You can hear John screaming, Milo, stop. Milo says, it dies with me. I'll kill it. Carter yells out, Bob, bring the first aid kit now. Hurry. Bob. End of log 17. Log 18, May 14, 2019. A faint whimpering could be heard in the background. Carter starts off by saying, Milo found a ritualistic dagger amongst the bodies, and he's hurt really bad. John says, give it a rest, will you? I'm just doing my job. This seems to have set off John. Your job? Your job? You fucking... Bob intervenes. Guys, stop. The audio devolves to just shuffling noises of fabric across the mic. End of log 18. Log 19, May 15th, 2019. 2:03. I think I'm starting to get used to the smell down here. I don't think it's actually a mass grave. The bodies aren't piled together or organized at all. I think it's a temple or a church of some kind. There's an altar right there at the center of the room. There's art on the wall. And the statues looks like it's the god they were worshiping. Same face as the one on the door we found yesterday. I took photos, but the visibility isn't great down here. So maybe we could... What am I doing? No one's gonna find. Carter starts quietly crying. He resumes talking after a few minutes. So, we only really have access to the 2 rooms. The main room upstairs and down here. Everyone else is upstairs. Milo is... He's hanging in there. I don't even know how he's alive. Christ. There's still pieces of him on the floor. I don't know what to do. Carter trails off and there's a minute of silence. I think I hear air. There's an opening somewhere here. The audio goes quiet. The recorder doesn't pick up any sounds for a few seconds. Then an almost negligible audio is picked up. It sounded like breathing. What the? Carter starts screaming. The sound of his heavy footsteps pounding on the stone steps echoes. No, fuck no. John hears Carter running. Carter? John's voice is cut off by a loud sound of stones scraping and clattering onto the floor. Come over here and help me now. We have to get out of here. Carter starts to scream. Suddenly, the rapid, heavy thud of footsteps closes in, growing louder until, with a deep, resonant thud, the sound of a body colliding with another fills the air. There's a sharp, forced exhale followed by a muffled thump accompanied by scattering pebbles. Carter says, "John, what are you?" John replies, "I'm sorry. Milo is right." "What?" Carter replies. John turns to look at an exhausted Carter. "He told me its name." Carter, trying to be the voice of reason. "Put that away. What do you think you're doing?" The harsh sound of labor breathing and strained grunts from both Carter and John. There's the occasional sharp scrape of a metallic object against stone. "I'm doing you a kindness," John says. "Bob, get him off of me." John says, "I'm so sorry." "Bob, please," Carter begins to shout. John looks towards Bob. "Bob, you know better. We can't." The struggle is suddenly interrupted by a swift, solid crack as a rock strikes the assailant. There's a sharp, surprised grunt as a dull dud of a body hitting the ground, followed by the clattering of metal. Carter, getting back on his feet, stands up and says, "Took you long enough. What the fuck happened? I was only gone for a few hours." The clattering of rocks being thrown continues again. Bob says. Come on, let's get out of here. Carter says. Bob, the body's down there. Bob replies next, but there's something different about him. I know. Isn't it wonderful? Actual miracles sealed down there. This really is the discovery of the century. How lucky am I not only to witness it, but to share it with the world? Carter sighs. Not you two. This place is cursed. There are monsters down there. Carter noticing that the Bob he is talking to is not the Bob that he came down here with. Bob says, not monsters. Devout worshippers. Don't be afraid, Carter. He bears gifts for us. Isn't that right, John? There's a low groaning sound in response. End of Log 19. Log 20, May 15, 2019, 12:34. A steady beat of stone clattering into the floor continues from the previous recording, although slower. It is accompanied by the sound of labored panting again. Carter says, it's been almost 24 hours since we've been down here. Supplies are getting low, but we'll make it to when relief team arrives. Milo and John are in critical need of medical attention. There's only so much I can do for them with what we have on hand. The corpses in the lower levels aren't. Carter pauses for a few seconds before continuing. We seem to be experiencing some kind of mass hysteria. No one seems to be in the right state of mind down here in the dark. We had to restrain John for the time being, for his and our own safety. John looks towards Bob. Bob, please don't do this. It's lying to you. Bob replies, was he lying when he cured you? Carter looks towards John. Where are your hearing aids, John? Bob smiles menacingly. He has no need for those anymore. A moment of silence hangs in the air before the sound of rocks scattering resumes. John to Carter. Carter, can you pour me some water? The audio picks up the light sound of footsteps in a bag unzipping. Here, careful. Carter says. John speaks in a whisper. Carter, listen to me. You have to stop him. Carter replies. We'll get out here soon. It'll be alright. John becoming much more frantic with what he is saying. No, it won't be alright. Not if we let it leave. I know I sound crazy to you right now, but I can't explain it to you. Not without putting you in the same position as us. Just promise me you won't let us leave. You alone can survive, but bury us. Carter in disbelief. Hang in there. Just 2 more days. Damn it. Carter. Don't make me have to tell you. Carter replies. Tell me what? Why you tried to kill me? John replies. What I'm about to do to you is infinitely worse. Turn that damn recorder off. End of Log 20. Log 21, May 16, 2019, 13:46. One more day. Just one more day. Carter says. No words are spoken for 20 minutes. A soft croaking voice pipes up, although the words are Unintelligible. Carter says, "We're all out of water. Sorry. Hang in there, buddy." Milo, still recovering. "Time?" Carter replies, "Almost 1400. Milo says, "Just one more day." John begins to speak. "Carter, let's talk." Carter, already frustrated at the situation. "Just shut up, will you?" John asks, "Is it speaking to you yet?" "I told you to shut up," John replies to Carter. "I'm gonna assume that was directed at it." Carter replies again, more angry than the last. "Shut up." A minute of silence goes by. "Shut up." Chuckle from John. End of Log 21. Log 22, May 17th, 2019, 3:17. Log 22 is 8 hours long. There are intermittences of silences, so for your understanding benefit, I will include a timestamp for when something of note resumes. Carter starts off by saying, "I don't want to be down here with them." John replies, "Yeah, well, I don't want Bob hearing us." Carter then comes back in. "He won't care. The only thing on his mind for the past 12 hours is digging a way out." John questions, "You think he can?" Carter, looking defeated, replies, "Unlikely." John then asks Carter a question. "You destroyed that recorder like I asked, right?" A moment lingers before Carter replies, "Yeah." John, looking towards Carter, "Right. So our only way out of here is the relief team. And if you're right, they'll be here in a few hours." Carter says, "They'll be here." John replies, "You know we can't let them find us, right?" There's a few seconds of silence. Carter doesn't reply. John talks again, saying, "You know what it will do if it gets out." Carter, frustrated again. "So we just resign ourselves to a noble death for the greater good." John looks towards Carter again and says, "We'll be lucky if it let us die at all." John's words hang in the air. The silence is broken with a quiet sob. Carter, under his breath, whispers, "Fuck you." John, looking towards him, "You wouldn't have believed me if I didn't tell you." Carter angrily turns to John and says, "So what then? We rot down here with the rest of them for eternity?" John stands up. "They made the same sacrifice for us." Carter replies, "Don't you want to see her again?" John snaps back, "I'm doing this for her." Carter stares at him. "Well, I can't." John replies, "It's been in your head long enough. You can read the walls, right? Warnings of an ideal left to be forgotten." John begins to cry out in pain. There's a thumping sound as something hits the floor. Carter says, "Shit, John, are you alright?" John, being in agonizing pain, "Stop it. You make sure I remember you, and I'll make sure no one ever hears your name again, you pathetic parasite." John's screaming intensifies. Carter, looking at John, "Damn it. Leave him alone. Let him go. Please." The intensity of John's scream slowly dies down over an hour. May 17, 2019, 4:52. Bob asks, "Is John all right?" Carter replies, "He's calmed down." Bob almost praying, "Merciful." Carter looking back, "You haven't taken a break since last night." Bob turns around to say, "Has it been that long? Then the relief team should be arriving soon." Carter almost hesitant to reply, "Yeah, about that." Bob drops what he was doing. "He asked you to stop me, didn't he? To ensure that we're not rescue. I bet that fool spoke of a noble sacrifice for the greater good. If he wants to be a martyr, they'll let him suffer alone." Carter responds, "It will," but it's quickly interrupted by Bob saying, "He is not an it. He is a god. He is the Prometheus. He nurtured a flame within man, gifted us with knowledge and wisdom to stand at the pinnacle of beings. And this was how they repaid him once they deemed him unnecessary. Hubris." Carter, knowing a little bit more about the situation, stands up and says, "He will unleash vengeance upon everyone if he gets out." Carter looking defeated, "I'm sorry, Bob." Bob replies, "Do you really wish to share the fates of those men down there? The unfathomable pain of existing as nothing more than a pile of decaying dust, forcibly held together by his will, to be burned in the dark for the rest of." A wet slashing sound interrupts Bob. A muffled gurgling noise of viscous liquid pouring is heard. A loud thud follows as something heavy falls to the floor. Carter looking at what he just had to do. "I'm so sorry." John could be heard hysterically laughing in the background. John starts to speak. A voiceless prophet. A gurgling cry of anguish echoes through the chamber before quickly being stifled. Carter reiterates, "I'm sorry. I can't let you share this curse." May 17, 2019, 8:23. Note that the relief team they spoke of were scheduled to arrive on site at 6:30. Carter says, "I think they're here." As if in response, a muffled sound of clothes start ruffling and scraping across the floor. Carter saying, "Shit. Hold him down. John, help me. John." John doesn't hear Carter screaming, but he turns around and sees what's happening. "What? Oh shit. Stop him." More muffled struggling ensues. Until it slowly subsides. Carter speaks. "What's the matter with you? John." John, noticing what just happened. I can't hear very well right now. It took it back." There's a distorted sound of voices yelling in the distance. It's impossible to make out what the words were, but it definitely wasn't coming from the 4 men on the original team. John says, "Stay strong, Carter. Sacrifice." Carter looking towards John. Sacrifice. End of log 22. Upon the completion of this transcript, I had to know more of what happened to the team. I've already gone through all the files that came with the device. Other than the series of logs, none of the information I found there pertained to anything that happened during the team's time on the site. I'm sure, like many of you would be, I was compelled to find out more. The first place I looked was in the files of the secondary team that was to arrive on site on the 17th of May, 2019. Similar to the first set of files, there wasn't a lot to go through. The files did include another satellite communication device. This device was the original. There were only 2 logs on this device. The names in the following transcripts has also been altered. Log 1, May 17, 2019. 12:47. This is Dr. Riley of the secondary team. We arrived on site 5 hours ago at 0700. The preliminary team is nowhere to be found. We already notified the PSD and the university. We've been looking for them all day, but there doesn't seem to be a single trace of them. They must still be here. There's no other way off the site unless they're willing to trek over 400 kilometers of barren desert. The rest of the team is scouring every last square meter of the site. We'll find them. I really hope John is okay. End of Log 1. Log 2, May 17, 2019. 22:06. Riley begins. No. Explain to me why. We're authorized to be here for the duration of the project. As far as anyone is concerned, that is so happening. The man responding to Riley speaks in a thick Arabic accent. This is no longer a research project. Your jurisdiction here is hereby revoked. We have arranged for you and your team to leave the country tomorrow morning on the earliest available flight. Please gather your team. You are to be transported off the site now. Riley stands firm. I'm not leaving without them. I'm afraid that it's not up to you. It is no longer safe here. Men have gone missing. We are currently organizing efforts to search for them. Riley says, will you at least let us know you find them? The man replies, rest easy knowing these men have contributed greatly. Have a safe trip, Doctor. End of Log 2. The research project officially postponed indefinitely on the 18th of May, 2019. There is no further information on the search efforts for the 4 missing men. Even combing through social media, I found nothing. It was as if missing researchers ceased to exist. The last known record of them are contained within the logs. I stated that there were only 22 logs at the beginning. There is, however, one last log. It isn't transcribed, as no words are spoken through the recording. In fact, the majority of log 23 is 27 hours of complete silence. Occasionally, I think I can hear air circulating, like soft, labored breathing. 3 hours into the log, there's a spike in the audio as a gasp is heard, followed by the sound of stone shifting. This final log was received last week. The timestamp reads September 18th, 2023, 11:07. I think they're still down there in the dark with the rest of them.